We're on Chagigah Perek Bet, Mishnah Daled, fourth Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Chagigah. So we learned in the last Mishnah that there's machloket whether you brought you were bringing olot, or Shlamim are doing smicha on Yom Tov or not. Beit Shammai said you don't bring olot because you could bring them during the Tashlumin, and Beit Hillel said you could. Our Mishnah is a continuation. It says, what happens though if Shavuot is on Erev Shabbat? Because, remember Shavuot has Tashlumin, but it's not part of Chol HaMoed. So on Pesach and Sukkot, that's obvious, do it on Chol HaMoed. What about on Shavuot? It says the Mishnah, Atzeret shechal liyot ve'erev Shabbat, if Shavuot fell out on Erev Shabbat, Beit Shammai Omrim, Beit Shammai says, Yom Tevoach Achar HaShabbat. So what you do is, since you could do Tashlumin on 7 days, even though the next day is Shabbat, so on Shabbat, you don't do the Korbanot Re'iyah, you don't do Shchitat Olot. Why? Because you do Tashlumin. Rather, you do it Achar Shabbat. Sunday, you do the Shchita of all the Olot Re'iyah. You do them on Sunday. Okay, that's what you do because it has Tashlumin. Beit Hillel says, En Yom Tevoach Achar Shabbat. You don't have to do it after Shabbat. Why? Because remember, Beit Hillel said, you can do the Tevicha, you can do the slaughter of the Korban on Yom Tov itself, on Friday. Since you can do it on Friday, there's no reason to have what's called Yom Tevoach. There's no Yom Tevoach Achar Shabbat. But both Beit Hillel, the Kahati says, Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai agree. Oh, 1 second. Oh, here, the Bartanura says. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, the Kahati says that both Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel agree that if it fell out on Shabbat itself, if Shavuot fell on Shabbat, then we don't bring Olot Re'iyah, we don't do the Shchita on Shabbat, and you have a Yom Tevoach on Sunday. And therefore, Umodim she'im chaliot b'Shabbat. Oh no, the God doesn't say it, the Mishnah says it, I knew I thought it somewhere. Modim, they agree, she'im chaliot b'Shabbat, she'yom Tevoach achar Shabbat. Then they agree that if it fell on Shabbat, then there is a Yom Tevoach. I thought I saw it in the Kahati, but now I know where I saw it. Okay, ve'en kohen gadol. What happens if you have this Yom Tevoach on Shabbat? There's a really interesting issue because there's a pasuk, a very famous argument based on a pasuk in Vayikra. Let's see the pasuk. All right, this is one of the most famous machloket arguments between the Prushim and Tzdukim, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, way back when. The Torah says the following: Usvartem lachem yimacharat haShabbat miyom aviyachem. We're in Vayikra Perek Chav Gimel 23. You should count from the morrow after the day of rest. Miyom aviyachem et Omer Tufa, the day you bring the Omer, Sheva Shabbatot Tumiyoti, and it counts 7 days. Ad mimacharat haShabbat haShviit. Here the Shabbat means week until the end, the day after the 7th week. Tisberu chamishim yom mikraftem mincha chadasha. That's Shavuot. 50 days after macharat haShabbat, when you bring the Omer, then you count 50 days. The 50th day is what we call Shavuot. When is Shavuot? It depends on what's macharat haShabbat. Chazal, the Prushim explained the day of rest was the Shabbat of the first day of Pesach. When we bring the Omer, according to the Prushim, according to the normative halacha that we follow, on the second day of Pesach. The Tzedukim said, it says Shabbat, Mechavat Shabbat. Therefore, you always do it on Sunday. You always offer the Omer on the Sunday of Chol HaMoed, whatever after Pesach begins. And therefore, Shavuot is also always on a Sunday. So therefore, there's a certain danger here. What's the danger? The danger is, if I have Yom Tevoach Achar HaShabbat, everyone agrees, both Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel say that if Shavuot fell out on Shabbat, you have Yom Tevoach. What are people going to say? People are going to say, oh, Yom Tevoach Achar Shabbat. We follow the Tzdukim, and that was a real issue in their time. It was a huge machloket. So what's it going to be? Therefore, the Mishnah says, if you do Yom Tevoach Achar Shabbat, en kohen gadol mitgol b'avish b'keilav. So it's machloket what this means. It means that the kohen gadol doesn't wear his, like the Bartanura says, v'kelim na'im shelo, his Shabbat clothes. Yom Tevoach shel atzeret shachar. Why? Kedei shelo yidne'eh be'oto yom. It shouldn't look nice. She'avinu hakol she'ein hayom Yom Tov. Because remember, Shavuot is pushed off. So people will say, oh, Shavuot is pushed off. I see, you're now doing it on Sunday. Sunday, Macharat Shabbat, Tzedukim? No. So the Kohen Gadol does not mean Nabesh Bekelab. It doesn't mean he doesn't, the Meiri quotes Yerushalmi who says that he doesn't wear his big day kahuna. I don't know how you would do that. Maybe the Kohen Gadol doesn't show up. But anyway, he doesn't wear his Sunday best when he goes in the shuk, according to the Bartanura. Umutarim be'espeidu b'taned. And even though normally Isru Chag, we don't do Hesped Ta'anit, on that day we do. Shelo l'kayim divrei ha'omim atzeret achar Shabbat. In order not to justify those who say that Shavuot is always on a Sunday, like the Tzedukim. All right, we'll stop here and dedicate our learning the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Haman. Have a great day.